Voices carry journeys from quiet homes to crowded streets. Worlds unfolding in a conversation, an educational podcast, a circle of minds learning from each other. Aphamazwi ethathibana khona aphivelaphi zethu zibalisa amabali indawo yokwabelana ngezimvo ngehlabathi. Asifaya podcast imikhali ikhuzulwa ngumahle sive ngicela umfo wasemamfeleni olisa ohlathi ojambase imfene zimabutho ahlutana ukuthola kwelanga. Asifaya podcast.
Everybody, welcome to the new episode of Asvaye. I do welcome you. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Grace us with your presence in this community. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Charles. So welcome to the show, Mr. Charles.
Welcome. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you for making time actually to see us.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not alone. I'm with Spicho Makaveli. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. And how are you doing, my gentlemen?
Quite excited, eh? This new setup, it makes me feel like we're moving into something right here.
Things are moving.
Yeah.
We're moving. Yeah.
The first thing I want to start with, for someone who just clicked on this show, by the way, we're going to talk about fashion design today. Fashion designing, modeling, everything associated around that, the business as well. For someone who just click on this because they see something like fashion design, can we just give them an evidence? Why should they listen to this episode?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question, my brother.
Yeah.
To start with, man, here at our province, I feel that fashion is a very limited subject, and you know that design can change the world, my brother. So when starting with, we can just talk about modeling. Actually, there's targets that I've reached myself individually within the world of fashion modeling. I actually am the first professional model that Free State has ever produced. After my last show, I did the South African Fashion Week now in April. Actually, after that, I became international. That I was grabbed by the. I appeared on the New York Fashion Week magazine.
Amazing.
So, my brother, it's somehow it hurts. The way that I've seen things happen around here, Mokhai. It hurts the way things happen. It hurts that there is opportunities that people who are trying to help, but things have been done wrongly. Firstly, to start with, there's this tendency of fashion designers studying fashion designing. After studying fashion designing, then they think that they can overtake fashion events. To create a fashion week, it's a very, very strategic thing, and you can never work alone when you do that. There's no unity in fashion when it comes to Free State. My brother, I'm the first model from the Free State to participate in the South African Fashion Week for 15 years in a row, obtaining 30 fashion shows in the past 15 years. It's a record that when I was sitting alone, thinking that seeing fashion weeks that are happening in Bloemfontein, etc., who is going to remove this record from the Free State? It touched my heart and said, you know what? It's time for me to go back home and try and help. Fashion weeks, we do have fashion shows here in Bloem. We've got the Free State Fashion Week. We've got the Khoa Fashion Week that's done under the Limo Festival. It's said that the very same thing that made us leave Free State is still persisting there. This fashion event has been happening for quite a long time. But the question is, what are you producing out of them when it's based to the youth? Models come there, they participate. They keep them the whole day, doing 9 shows, fashion, 10 shows in a day. When it comes to payments, it's sad to hear the payments that they mention. It's so sad. There was the other one now, it happened, they kept kept the models for a week. Models entered at 7 o'clock in the morning, leave at 2 a.m. on daily basis till the fashion show. You know how much did they pay them? $300. There's amounts that I participated in them. I modeled in them.
Mm.
I rejected payments. I say you can keep it because it's done wrongly. I will never entertain, and I will never entertain something that's been done wrongly. The most important thing that fashion organizers in Free State needs to learn is to start working together. They can never do this competing because I saw there's a lot of competition. One thing that they must ask themselves, Charles Musola, why is it the only model from Free State getting to participate 15 years at the South African Fashion Week consecutively? What is it that he's doing that the other models are not doing? What made me leave? I saw the problem from start. That's when I left.
You know, Charles, I want us to break down for maybe someone who's not exposed to these leadership organizers. Like, what was the most what was challenging for you to actually get into this space? What did you find it challenging that it would make you the one and only person that create this record nationally and like globally? Since you mentioned that you also appeared on New York, you know, what makes it challenging?
To start with is the way they treat modeling. They think that modeling is all about walking on the ramp, showcasing those clothing, done. That's a career that we're talking about. That's a career that can generate millions for models if they are being put on the right platform. Basically, now for an example, models need to know that you will never go anywhere within this industry. It's very hard to break through in this industry. You need a mentor who understands the business of fashion. It's growing each and every year, but Free State is still standing still. As we're speaking, my brother, I'm coming back home. I'm busy changing my royalties from the Gauteng registration to Bloemfontein to Free State registration to show that I want to work with these people. Me founding the Bloemfontein Fashion Council, there's a lot of things that are happening wrongly. Models go to Johannesburg, they fail there, then they come this side. When they arrive to Bloem, they call themselves professional models. Though they don't have the background that to be a professional model, mama, you need to be registered. You understand? What they do is they will adopt models around Free State, around Bloem. Then they'll make them pay each and every month as if they're paying school fees, forgetting their job to those models. Once a model register within a modeling agency, a model must, it is the agency's job to make sure that that model get jobs. But now it has become a stereotype that there's only two shows that models participate in Free State, Lemo Fest and the Free State Fashion Week. So models need to start knowing that they will never go anywhere without a mentor. You need someone to open doors for you out there. I can drop out names now. The names that I've seen, said, good talent, seen them in Joburg. Starting this thing correctly. 6 months down the line, a person is a DJ now because of they don't have people who are taking care of them that side, opening doors for them. So it's better for us to do that here in Bloem. Mochai, it's better to do it here.
Okay, I want you to take us back with the audience. You were born here in Bloem?
Born and bred in Bloemfontein, Palmy location.
Paint us a picture. How does it look like when you are growing up, and when did you get the bug of modeling and fashion? Because I feel like these Machiavelli are important things, especially for African continent ownership or South African ownership. We see people like Abotshepo coming with the jeans.
Tshepo jeans.
Abo Fio, you understand? So this, I feel like this conversation is so important. But paint us a picture. How was it growing up, and when do you get a bug? Just go unfold. Yeah.
Okay, my brother, now on my side that I've never feared of tackling things and facing things and challenging things alone. To start with, I was raised by a very stylish grandfather. My grandfather was very stylish, so I was from a very young age. So I grew up within the fashion scene in the house, you know. My mom was also my dad, you know, the people who are mostly into fashion, they like dressing up nicely.
Yeah,
I grew up in that. So that thing drawn a lot of interest in me being nice, close to fashion and all that. It has drawn a very, very huge time from me.
Yeah.
In a basis of what? When other guys would go and buy clothing, about the CVs and all that, I would go to my dad's old clothing. I would cut that, mix that, put that there. That's where I learned a lot of patterning. It would do that. So now, with me, what pushed me leave? Bloom. I left Bloom at the age of 19 years,
Mhm.
not knowing where I'm going, but I knew that my destination is in Joburg. What I want is in Joburg.
So when you leave with your metric.
I live with my metric.
Okay, yeah.
I left Joburg.
Mm.
When I got that site, I landed in the hands of a very well-known designer by the name of Olebogile Dimu, founder of House of Ole, born and bred in Bloemfontein. It's also from Batu. I'm going back to the aspect of mentorship.
Yeah.
I became where I came because of his leadership within the fashion sector. He would tell me each and every time I would get an agency, he would tell me, he showed me the disadvantages of agencies and the advantages of agencies. I've been working with him all these years, ever since I left Bloom from 2004. After 2004, I came back, then I left again 2011. So my breakthrough in this thing of fashion, it came when I did my first South African Fashion Week. It was for Loction Culture in 2011, Shine Studio, when it was being done, SA Fashion Week, when it was still happening downtown, before it went uptown, as you know, now it's happening for Center, Night Park and all that, you know. So my journey was a very stressful journey. It was a very painful journey because while I was still in Johannesburg, I got an opportunity to work for Eskom. And I worked for Eskom for 4 years. But there was that thing of, you know, when something is a calling, this thing of fashion within me, it was a calling. I resigned. I just left my job like that. And my parents were not happy about that, just to be honest.
What happened during
I
that
just
moment
decided
of
I want to go back to job. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what happened actually. My supervisor was a blessing in disguise on this one.
Yeah.
Each and every week, I had to travel to Johannesburg to go showcase, to attend castings and all that. So now this, my supervisor that side, Mr. Sejake is still there, Eskom, Sejake. Yeah, Sejake Mutibeti.
What's up, Mr. Sejake?
You
Yeah.
know, that guy once said to me, he was angry actually when he said that. But to me, when it landed, it never landed badly. He said to me, Charlie, you have to choose my brother. You can't work for two lions. You can't work for Eskom and always you have to sacrifice Eskom work and go to Johannesburg and do these things of you, my chika. He used to say that to me. But I took that. He was angry. He mentioned that in a very rough way because I was asking to leave, job early, and not coming the following day. Then I said, you know what? I took that thing. I took it in a positive. You know what? I don't belong here. I don't belong here because even reporting at work, I was never that person. I was always late. I was never that person of reporting. But each and every time I had to attend casting on the fashion side, I would always arrive on time. Everything was on time. So with my journey, it was a very brilliant journey. That 2013, I was scouted by the NY. At that time, NYDA was still founded. It was still new. It was still a baby. I was funded by NYDA that site in Joburg. I shot commercials, commercials for them for capacity buildings and all that. So I was trained to develop youth under the NYDA. So that's what opened a big hole within fashion. But if I can turn this modeling thing into a business, how do I go about? That's when now I started scouting this thing of modeling agencies, the thing that they do, like the one that I just mentioned earlier. Oh, an agent, a model after registration. It's an agency must get jobs for models. Then I cut. After 2013, I never belonged to any agency. I've been freelancing ever since. All of this background that I have, I've obtained myself with the help and mentorship of House of Ole. You know, so I was never afraid to listen. I was never afraid to learn. It will be to other models is that thing of I've been in this thing for a long time. Yeah, though you are Quanat in Bloom, I will never listen to someone who's from there, is younger than me or is my age.
Mm.
When I've been discriminated a lot of times. Doors have been shut in my face a lot of times. But each and every step that I passed, it was a lesson for me. And I took that lesson and turned it into possibilities. And it happened. I once said to this other model, told Diva, don't give up. It's not yet too late. You have never left Bloom. It's not yet too late. Let's do this. Matabo, I think it's 2 months back, we're talking, saying she doesn't want anything to do with modeling anymore. I said, please, I begged her, please. I told her, and I wasn't supposed to. I just founded the Bloemfontein Fashion Council. The reason behind Bloemfontein Fashion Council is to come and teach them how fashion is being done. I'm not against any fashion that has been happening in Free State, Bloom, but most of the things have been done wrongly. Point number 1, when there's no fashion week, what are those agencies doing for our models that they've registered, that the models are paying school fees? Now I call it a school fees. Each and every month, models are paying for what? Though the registration supposed to be a model is registering in a modeling agency. It's like someone who's buying a store to showcase his work. They're supposed to get jobs for them. They can't get jobs for them. How can you trust this person can get a job for me in the fashion industry, but the person doesn't have anything to show for our background? It's very important. And those people in Free State are the ones who are getting an opportunity. You know, there's this, what is this? Free State Fashion Week. The owner of Free State Fashion Week has made me drive from Johannesburg to Bloemfontein, saying to me, Charles, I want us to talk. I'll tell you when I'm that side. Tell me when you come this side. And I said, no problem. Then I made a weekend. I said, you know what? I wasn't planning on coming to Bloom, but I'm coming to Bloom to come and meet you. When I arrived in Bloom, we went to AWOL. The thing that they're facing us in a wrong way, as if we are fighting them, we're not fighting anyone. All we're saying is let's work together and fix this thing and do a proper thing. That's all we say to them.
Yeah, my brother.
Yes,
yeah. You said a lot of things. But the purpose and the aim of very important things, by the way. Yeah, you've said a mouthful. The purpose of ASVAI, one of the purposes is to school the young ones, the youngings. You leaving Bloemfontein at 19 after matric and acquiring all this experience and going through these hardships, obstacles and challenges far away from home is not a nice experience, I can tell from the story you just narrated. So to prevent, the purpose is to prevent our little sisters, nephews, nieces, and all those who are coming after us to never fall or victim of the same challenges that you experienced, Yabona. So you've said a lot. You're talking about Bloemfontein Fashion Council. What is Bloemfontein Fashion Council? Why Bloemfontein Fashion Council?
Actually, Bloemfontein Fashion Council, it's an answer to what you just asked now.
Okay.
What are we doing for the upcoming, not to go the same route and feel what we felt? That's the reason why I opened it. Firstly, to stop this monthly payments at the modeling agency, because they are not giving any models any jobs. It's facts.
So who's paying these agencies?
Models themselves.
Oh, they are
They
paying
pay
school
monthly.
fees.
Yeah, it's just like a school fees. That's why I'm calling it school fees.
Yeah.
They're
And then
paying
in
monthly.
return, what are they getting?
Nothing. 2 shows in a year.
That's what he's saying. It's like
Okay.
you're paying for the store.
Okay.
You understand? You are
Okay.
paying for being there.
That's happening
Photo
twice
shoot.
a year, but you are paying monthly.
You are paying monthly.
Mm.
And look, when we say twice a year, from January till after September, there's nothing happening. Till Free State Fashion Week comes, and then Lemo Fest. After that, it's dead again. That's why my question is, to these fashion events that are happening in Bloemfontein, what is the purpose of them? Isn't it supposed to be promoting our young talent? What are the purposes for it? Recently, there's one model that I took and participated with at the South African Fashion Week by the name of TK. And there's this other one by the name of Tsepo. He's under Bogart. So I'm trying to take them one. But with the right support, we can take 20 at a time and go participate at the South African Fashion Week and all that. 20. We can own our thing. Now you know what I don't want. I don't want to take them and let them go based in Johannesburg and suffer. We need to have a model house in Bloemfontein. Then what we do, we team up with the big industry, which means that's where we start creating communication lines. Now, with designers, because, when we're talking about fashion, we're talking about a community.
That was going to be my follow-up question.
We're talking about
Structure of this
community.
fashion. Yeah.
Look, where they are getting it wrong. Look, for a designer to have garments, what needs to happen? A designer must go to a material store and buy fabric, right? Material store, done, ticked. It has made money. Now, for a designer to make money, he must design, right?
Yes.
But now, for the garment that a designer has designed to be seen out there, what does a designer need? A designer needs a model to wear it. Ne? For a model to be seen outside there, showcasing that or wearing that garment, what does it need? A platform. It's either it can be a fashion show, it can be a fashion installation. By the way, a fashion installation show has never happened in Free State. That's why I'm asking myself, what are the people who are promoting fashion events doing? If all the time models must walk up and down, where is the creativity behind the fashion shows, right? Back to our chain, my brother. Sorry for that.
Yeah,
I was just highlighting the sorry for that. You see, my brother.
Yeah.
Now,
I hope you don't forget that point, because there's a question I want to ask on that actually. Like, what if they don't have money? Doesn't this take like capital or money to do it? Like, you speak
The
as
whole
if there's a
food chain.
budget for it. Yeah, like you speak as if there's a
They are sitting on a budget.
they're sitting on the money that
you're
They're supposed to use, but they're not
you know,
using.
yeah.
It's sad, for a designer to make money, they have to lose money because they have to buy fabric, a lot of things, machines and all that. Now, such spaces, that's where our government comes in now, with incentives, etc. You understand? But the way system is working, I've seen good designers suffer. Good designers. That some of them we even took out of Bloem to just come and help us in Johannesburg when we're doing our collections or when we're doing our orders and all that. And they don't want to come back here. They're abandoning. People are angry. Talent outside Bloem, that's living Bloemfontein and Free State in particular, when it goes out, it doesn't want to come back.
And I think I
understand?
think it's not only a Free State thing. That thing, it's a national thing.
It's
All
a national
these other
thing.
provinces are going to Joburg. I think things are happening in Joburg.
Mm.
What are they doing right in Joburg that is supposed to be doing right here? You will answer that question after we are done with
Yeah, listen. So you,
Okay,
yeah, you were on the
We are on
platform.
our moral now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now for a designer to make money, his or her garments must be seen out there.
Mm.
And for that to happen, what does it need? Maybe a fashion show.
Platform.
A
Yeah.
platform, basically.
Yeah.
We can say that, a platform. But now, that's where the theme ends in Free State. Forgetting that, for a model to be seen, to be seen by someone who didn't even attend the show, what does he need? A photographer to take a picture. Now, for a photographer to be known who took this picture, because no one will see him on the picture when it's out there.
on your
For a
type,
photographer to be known, what does a photographer need? A writer or a poet to write a story and put it in the magazine. So this thing, it's a chain. It's a chain, my brother. And now going back, if you want to break a chain, skipping this one, not funding this, not doing that, skipping point of photographer, having them. Why after fashion shows, whatever transpired at the fashion show, why do the fashion organizers keep it to themselves? I did a show for Limo 2024. My picture was only advertised 2025. Them advertising the fashion show Yabonia 2025. Why is that?
Sure.
Why didn't they take that platform and put it in the local newspapers? We have local newspapers, government newspapers. We have it. For that, we see. If you can go to government building hospitals, you will see screens there.
Mm.
But if you go there, it's said that for you to appear there, you have to pay. It's not for free. You have to pay. It's outdoor advertising.
Mm.
Understand?
Mm, mm.
So now that is the thing about this. And you know what is the sad part? These people that are organizing fashion events or people who are in control of fashion in Free State, they're not seeing the bigger picture. They're not seeing the potential of Free State. That's why now we're taking it to fashion farming. It's a myth. If you go to the Department of Agriculture, they will tell you that the weather in Bloemfontein and in Free State, it's a bit cold. Where you grow cotton, it must be it
Humid.
must be warm, and that's a myth.
You know what I'm trying to understand, Makavini, from Charles?
Mm.
I hear like they have shortfalls, the people that are in charge of this fashion events. Like, what do you think is holding them back? What do you think, like, it's really, really holding
Because they
them
don't know
back?
what they're doing. It's not like they're being holding.
So the solution to that,
we must start this. They need to start working with the established fashion community.
do you think they resist that, or they haven't felt, they even found people that want to collaborate with them?
Earlier on, you remember I told you that there was a weekend that I sacrificed and say, you know what, I'm driving to Bloem to go meet the Free State Fashion Week.
Yeah.
I was giving myself over to Bloemfontein, but she went AWOL. Still today, I still have those texts.
So what do you conclude? The organizers are
They
resistant.
they've turned fashion into a business scheme. They're using it their way. Because if you can check, né? When this events, Free State Fashion Weeks happens and everything, it's always same pictures, same people that we see.
Same faces.
Same faces, sorry, man. Same faces, same people that we see. There was a time that they brought a lot of designers from Joburg and all that. I don't understand why to develop our own fashion week in Free State. Do we need people from outside? But I got the answer to it. It's because that these people, they go to Johannesburg, Cape Town and all that. They go watch SA Fashion Week, take pictures. Then they come to Bloem and want to copy that and do it here in Bloem. It won't fit because they don't understand the era of Free State. The fashion era of Free State. Thaba Nchu used to grow cotton. They don't even know why did cotton stop. For a designer to be there, a cotton must be planted because of material. Fabric must be threaded. Fabric must be done. Understand? So the only thing that can make fashion come all right in Bloemfontein is working together. If you're gonna decide that I'm gonna call it a family business, it won't work. It won't work. It's gonna be stuck. And it's a fact. If I may ask you, it's facts. Free State Fashion Week. Who have they produced in the past close to 10 years that they've been getting funding from the government and doing Free State Fashion Week each and every day? Which model, which designer, which fashion stylist that we can say, if it wasn't because of Free State Fashion Week, this person wouldn't be here. How do you run a fashion week for close to 10 years without even creating the Free State Fashion Charter Board to run the fashion that will sustain your fashion week? To me, not in a bad way. To me, Free State Fashion Week is stuck. I call it fraud. Because
How so?
Free State Fashion Week doesn't do any fashion week without help from the government.
So you're saying they are not sustainable?
I'm not saying they're not sustainable.
If you are saying they can't do it without government funding,
Why? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me put it in. Why after the help of the government in 2025 must they wait for 2026? The government must come and help again.
Oh, I sense some insinuation here. So, do you think what are we facing as the spectators? We're watching people that are dribbling the money on the table, or what's happening?
Let me not put it in effect of dribbling the money under table or what. No. Let me not
Those
put
are
it.
serious
Yeah, those are yeah. Let me not.
need facts.
Yeah, no. Let me not put it in that manner, one. But now I'm asking myself, is the government playing part within the Free State Fashion Week for Free State Fashion Week to just do a fashion show or to promote Free State talent? If it's like that, anyone can do fashion then. Anyone can do a fashion show and the government can come through. Why is it only those certain events, fashion events, that are sponsored by the government? Why? So many years it has been happening. It can't even sustain jobs for designers. It can't even sustain jobs for models.
Let's go back to my question.
Sure.
Yeah. What is it that Joburg is doing good that Free State should copy from Joburg and implement here at Free State and other provinces for that matter? Eastern Cape, I'm sure, they having the same cry. Limpopo, same cry. Northwest, yeah. Whereas there's talent. This country of ours is
Okay, with that, we don't have to copy anything. We don't have to go to Johannesburg and go copy Johannesburg and come to Johannesburg here. That's what I'm saying is, it needs understanding of the era. The era of fashion in the Free State was blocked after 1963. Wabona, the day they decided to stop fashion farming in Tabanchu, it killed everything.
So in Gauteng, there's fashion farming.
They don't have. The only places that you can get recently, it's in Limpopo. There's a farm that I once visited at Limpopo, but now it's private. It's a private farm. It's being owned by a white guy. And let me shock you. Fabric there and cotton. After it has been harvested, goes straight to Australia. It comes back to South Africa as a fabric. Straight to Australia. You understand?
But now, listening to you, this is a food chain challenge.
Ecosystem.
The whole ecosystem. So you strike me like, actually, yeah, you are someone who understands the whole value chain and food chain. And what are you bringing then to Bloemfontein?
Okay. Hence the founding of Bloemfontein Fashion Council. It's not only limited into fashion.
Okay.
We are about to open up a factory. The strategy behind that factory is to start off 50 tailors, because there's that thing of in Free State that fashion design. We need to understand what fashion design is. You can never go to, example, UFs and do dressmaking, come back, you can sew now. You're calling yourself a fashion designer. It doesn't work like that. You don't have advanced tailoring. You don't know the importance of branding. Understand? There's a lot of things that happens after you qualify at the UFs, after you studying your dressmaking. Basically, the last school, varsity, that had fashion designing, it was Techoffs. UFs has never had fashion design. Course called fashion design. Not dressmaking, not patterning, but fashion design.
To their defense, not that I have anything to gain or something, but for information sharing, the way the higher learning institutions are designed, were designed that way by the people who designed them. We had universities, before in the olden days, university, which is UFS is still a university, and then we had technicons, Techoffs. Now it's Central University of Technology, where they mixed practicals with theory, and then we had TVET colleges or FET colleges, further education and training back then. Now is TVET. Training and vocational, whatever. Yeah. So the way they are structured. So in their defense, that's why I'm saying their syllabus didn't cover what you are alluding to.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to the value chain that we are talking about. So this thing is not just a fashion thing, because my other issue would be like fashion design and fashion shows and fashion styling and modeling. It falls under which department? Arts and culture, sports, recreation, and arts and culture. You see, yeah. So again, at the provincial level or national level, there would have to be a collaboration
Mm.
whereby
Mm.
a certain institution would produce these graduates,
Mm.
or these graduates, and then where to from education, Department of Higher Education. You get me?
Mm. Mm.
Channel to sports, arts, and culture,
Understand.
and then to when they get to sports, arts, and culture, where to small business or big business. There's a department for that,
Mm.
and then again it trickles down, or it broadens up
Mm.
the finance as well.
Mm.
You're speaking of a lot of food chain here.
Mm.
Cotton planting in you talked of Tabanchu. Whose department is that? That's also agriculture. Is there coordination then at the bigger
Scale.
scale?
Mm.
Okay, yes, there is. You
There
know what
is.
agriculture says? That's why earlier I said it's a myth, what they're saying.
Mm.
They're saying cotton can grow in the Free State.
Mm.
Cotton used to grow in Tabanchu. Where is Tabanchu? Tabanchu is in the Free State.
50 kilometers away from Bloem. Yeah.
There's
Must be more.
irrigation, cotton farming. Why can't we use irrigation cotton farming here? That's why I'm saying it's something that's been created by our top there. You understand? Because when you go to agriculture, they will say to you, cotton doesn't grow in Free State, ne?
Mm.
Who will fund someone who wants to grow cotton in Free State who doesn't have the money? Let's say you're getting a talent from unprivileged home. This person wants a space to grow cotton. The person write a presentation, go pitch it at the agriculture. Agriculture will never fund it because they're saying cotton doesn't grow here. Now, which means by then saying that we can't create our own fabric. Have you ever been to a fabric store? Then you find a black person inside a fabric store. But the raw material comes from South Africa. It's sad. Free State, they need to look at it in an open eye. Free State can change the fashion world of South Africa.
The whole world, actually, with the
With the
land,
land,
that the farming
with the land that we
we
have.
yeah, the whole
With the
world.
land that we
We
have,
can
it
export to the whole
It
world.
can.
Mm.
It can. Why aren't they starting to implement planting cotton via irrigation?
Is there demand for that? Because
High
we're
demand.
talking business. Business is all about supply and demand.
High demand. Let me tell you something. You know what designers doing, professional designers doing nowadays? They're creating their own fabric. But what they do is they buy fabric printing with their own art and all that. Now, how will they save? How much will they save if now they have to produce their own material? There's no longer that thing of buying material. Now we are creating our own chain now here in Free State. We're no longer buying, because it's the truth that we are facing, that each and every fabric store that you can go to, mostly in South Africa, 95% of them, you will never find the owner of a black person owning a fabric store. Why? Why is that? Why is that? But the product that was used to create that fabric, some of them came from South Africa. That cotton. There's a farm there in Limpopo. I'm still repeating. There's a farm there in Limpopo. Even when you pass the state of their farm, you will see cotton all over, cotton lying all over there. So why don't we produce it and keep it here?
Well, I think it's the thing about South Africa and its provinces in many cases. I mean, and I want to ask as well, what do you think about businesses like IPA to Tshepo Jeans? Because I think I heard that these guys, they actually import
fabric.
Material.
yeah,
Yeah,
material.
from
You
China.
understand? So I think it's the same with things. Don't you think like it's a global trade relationships purposes that we don't do it ourselves? Even the gold going
The
into
mineral resources, the same thing.
you know
Manganese is being
you know what I
transported
mean.
here in Northern Cape. All the
So what's said is to hear it coming from this thing that sounds to be simple, because it's fashion is our second nature. You know what I mean? So I want to ask this question then. How do you feel about these businesses? The likes of Drip, Tshepo Jeans, and the party.
Look, Okay, by the way, Tsepo is someone that I know. We trained with him, African Swiss, Tato, and the House of Ole.
Mm.
Yes, I've heard this myth of fabric being imported. Which one is that one that's been imported? We do have fabric, good fabric in South Africa, my guy. Good fabric, top fabric in South Africa. We get it from the Indian guys. There is fabric in South Africa.
As a-
Not most. That's why I was telling you is they will say it's imported and all that.
Mm.
We do have fabric in South Africa. They will buy, for an example, Italian satins. When you buy it here, you will never go buy it at an Italian shop. Go to any fabric store. You see those kinds of people that you find inside those fabric stores. They are the ones who know good material. Don't underestimate them. So what they do, they enhance fabric that they have bought. For an example, with fabric printing, you'll see some of them, their clothing will have names, their names of the brands and all that.
yeah.
It's not like it's imported. No, we do have this couple of guys that I know in Johannesburg that are doing fabric printing. You understand? This is fabric printing, but now they do it in a high sense of art. Like now, for an example, if I can make an example, House of Ole, Ole Ledimo, he's good in art. He's doing fine art. He does portraits and all that. When he produces his fabric, you will see art there. He takes art, put it on fabric. He's good. 100%. No one will ever be in body architect when it comes to art. He's on another level. So now all I'm asking is, which kind of fabric is that's being imported? I've never seen. I would love to know that fabric that's being imported.
So that's an agenda that's being.
I can say
Okay.
I can never be against what people do to push their brand. To say this fabric is imported. It's a strategy to them.
No business.
I've been in this business for a long time of fashion professionally. I've never seen fabric being imported. Maybe you can go there to Italy and buy that fabric. It doesn't mean in South Africa that fabric is not there. It is there somewhere there, but you'll get it in limited. It is limited. You might find out maybe something that a fabric that you can buy for a meter. You might find out a meter, it can say 1,500 a meter. It's expensive. It's expensive. You know what hurts me about that? The very same product that was used to produce that fabric came from here. Why can't we do it ourselves? Because we're living in that thing, the eras that were created. We mustn't shy away from it, Makrutman. Oh, you wanted to say something?
No.
There was a scenario of we need to remember where South Africa comes from. And we need to remember that thing that we need to produce cottons and all that, who's holding it? Whites. You can never run away from that. Our land, most of the people owning land is white. So it's facts that we can never run away from, a guy. After Ntate Mandela was appointed as president, who was the Minister of Agriculture? Who was the Minister of Land Affairs? Yes. Who was the Minister of Finance? I think if those positions were owned by our people, we wouldn't be where we are today. I don't think we would be where we are today.
But yeah, my brother, you can hold a position, but if you are clueless, then it's still the same. You can be remote controlled by your deputy or your subordinates. So this issue of ownership, you must have wisdom to own anything. Yeah, we see it go. I blew it. People winning 4 million and then blew it 4 months down the line. But if you have grown this money and this wealth and the wisdom, you will be able to handle 4 million. But if you can't handle 1,000 rand, 10,000 rand, So you gave us a structure of the fashion from sourcing material, fashion designers, and let's talk fashion business now. So that maybe someone watching this podcast there can connect the dots, because now that was a lecture on your industry. Yeah, okay, material must be sourced somewhere, so we need farming for that, and then to get into a tailor, and a tailor must get a certain skill. Everyone calls themselves a tailor. So now you made an example,
Fashion
Katenko,
designer, they
a
call
fashion
themselves.
design- fashion designer, I mean. Whereas
Though they are
someone-
tailors,
exactly,
they don't have advanced tailoring.
exactly. So now let's talk fashion business.
The business of
Like,
fashion, authentic,
business of fashion.
fashion,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe they will connect those dots
Mm,
themselves
mm, mm,
later on. Yeah.
Okay. Fashion events happen in Bloem, right? What is the use of advertising a local tailor or local fashion designer? Then after the show, they don't even sell garments. What is the use? You understand? So basically, it's stuck. Mo blog. It's not there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. If it existed, most of local designers, local tailors, their brands could have been all over the streets. Youth is very powerful in marketing, my guy. It's very powerful. But why aren't they doing garments and giving them to youth? They need money to buy fabric. If they are suffering with money to buy fabric, we shouldn't be where we are. If they didn't suffer about that.
Can we give a template for those who are looking at you like, I want to get into fashion business, maybe in terms of profiting, commercializing. So I hear right now, like, you're making the analysis of the business that exists around here, Bloem. But can you just give a blueprint for those that want to, get into fashion? Because I mean, as we speak, maybe someone is watching there from Ekasi, but they are busy, combining their dirty jeans or,
Yeah, I'm with you.
So where's the business for an ordinary person?
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Simple, my brother. For them to go up there, they need to get mentors. Make sure that a mentor that you get is professionally registered in the business that you want to be in, because they're the ones who will open correct doors for you. There's no doors in Bloem to open. So basically what's going to happen, they're going to have to leave Bloemfontein. And that's what I'm against. Because when they get that side, they don't want to come back. For an example, it's good they can look. I don't have a problem with our models, with their local talent. Wanting to get in this, or I'm not even trying to discourage them on that. I'm just giving them a pure advice. Try and research before you can try to do something. Try and ask yourself, why is Tshepo Jean focused on jeans only? What is he powerful on? Why only jeans? You understand? Why is Ole focused in bespoke tailoring? You understand? So what I can advise them with, you can never do anything without mentorship.
Charles, let me give you a direction of this question. Because
Okay.
so I'm a barber. I run a barber shop, right?
Mm.
So say someone is watching right there, and including yourself. If someone asks me, give me a business of barbershop, I want to enter there, I'll tell them that you can either start cutting hair, make money from cutting hair, or you can rent out mirrors in your barbershop and make money from that, rental income, or you can give mentorship to people that aspire to be barbers and make money out of that. I just want us to drop a value in terms of business for those who would want to access it. Where are the departments or functions where like there's a gap that you see in business?
Including the government, should we?
For sure.
Because in Free State, because there's nothing. There's no. We don't have fashion galleries. We don't have where they can run to. The government is the only place that they can run to and ask for assistance. Understand? So now, in short, I don't know how to put it, my brother, but in short, there's departments like Positfa, there's departments like Arts and Culture Life you've mentioned before, that they can go ask for assistance. But now I'm afraid to say yes, they can go there, they'll get assistance due to one point. There are already these events that have spoken about that are being funded for all these years. For start, mentorship. Try and get like I said, try and get a mentor and ask. For this person to start, obviously, kubo zone ya gago. These kids for designers and all that, ne? They can get a machine funding from NYDA. There are platforms like NYDA. They can ask for funding of machines and all that. But now the most curious one gets it models. What do models do now? Because for them to get money, they have to walk, they have to showcase, they have to pose, they have to do this. How do they access?
Because there are no
For
events.
fashion design, that's why I'm saying it's tricky, because when I can see your question is mostly based on fashion designing. So fashion is not about fashion designing. Like I told you, that fashion community. You understand? So basically, the most important thing that needs to happen for that question to be clear, there was no base in Bloom that you can say, go there and ask this, you'll get this. It's only the government. Even private individuals, they don't do it. Go individual businessmen, they don't fund it. They don't fund our kids to do all the fashion design. Let's say Kupa Muchini. It's very rare. It's very rare that you'll find people that can help our kids, our upcoming fashion community. I don't know if you're clear with it.
I don't think you have answered this question. What problem are you trying to solve?
Igniting the business of fashion in Free State.
Where would they do that business, or with
Sorry?
whom? With whom would they do that business? They have been ignited, ne?
Mhm.
The fashion designers, the fashion enthusiasts, the stylists, the models, and
Mm.
with whom are they going to do the business? Or who's their customer? Who's their clientele?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't exist. It has to be created.
How do we create it?
It goes back to me forming the Bloemfontein Fashion Council.
Council is a body of people, like
But
on a boardroom.
yes,
And
but
what
who-
are initiatives?
Who are the people? No, I can do initiatives. It's business plans that people can start using out there. There are some limited ones that we can say, like now, the one that I've mentioned of cotton farming. You'll be shocked after a connected person in the government is now growing cotton somewhere. You understand?
So I take it one of the things
So
that you
all I'm saying to you is, hence I'm saying to you, me opening the Bloemfontein Fashion Council, I'm inviting everyone, all of them, to come to the party. Let's sit down and start working together. The correct channels that I know, not only me alone, because there are very high people within the fashion, Bloemfontein Fashion Council, in the fashion industry of South Africa and Africa as a whole, that I'm working with. You know, with them, they'll guide the way.
So it's
They'll
very
guide the way.
plug. You'll
It's
plug
very
the-
plug. Let them come. It's an invite.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an invite to
Okay.
whoever, because I'm open to work with,
With
anyone.
everyone.
Me, for an example, if
Yeah.
I have to put it in a way of, I'll be taking out a business plan.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
I'll be
taking
get
out
you.
a
business
I can,
plan.
I
Got
can
you.
sense you are holding something.
I'll be taking out a business plan.
No. Hold it, Mr. Tep.
You know,
Very.
so there's I'm putting an invite on the table.
You
Anyone.
have a blueprint, my brother.
Anyone.
So okay.
Come
Yeah.
to the Bloemfontein Fashion Council. I'm not saying come join. I'm
Mm.
saying come attend our workshops
Engage,
and all that, because we
yeah.
hold workshops now and then, you know, in Bloem, in Joburg. Come, let's talk. The most important line is, I don't want them to come through finding this base has already been done. I want us to build this thing together
So that they
so
see.
that they can see and learn from it, because
Okay, I see.
it's not going to be easy for me to teach two.
Mm.
Then after, now I must teach two again, teach two again, teach two. No. At least when we go, like I said, when I made an example of a
Numbers.
50,
Mm.
let's start to sitting down. Let's start tackling these things. Let's start showing them the things that they haven't been doing, that they were supposed to do long time ago.
Mm.
So you're
understand?
talking tailor, photographer,
Photo-
model.
I'm talking about photographers. I'm talking about models. I'm talking about fashion bloggers. I'm talking about fashion stylists. I'm talking about people who does crockery. Wabona msebenzi wa ditrata.
Yeah,
Crockery,
yeah,
bidding,
yeah.
knitwork. I'm talking about anything that has to do with production in fashion. Come through.
Fashion
I'm talking about
influencers.
poets. I'm talking about poets. I'm talking about magazine owners, come through. Let's sit down. Let's talk.
Podcasters.
I'm talking about
Us.
podcasters. I'm
Yeah.
talking about you guys.
Us.
Come, let's sit down. Let's talk.
Um,
Us combining like that, it's gonna be easy for us to build the fashion charter that can run and sustain whatever plan that we'll be implementing at that time.
Bro, I love what you want to build and the gap in which you wanna
You know what is the
bridge.
good thing about it? When I go to the grave, whoever is gonna replace me won't have to start from scratch because there'll be a fashion charter to guide.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. A
For sure.
living
So
fashion charter.
for it to happen, that's where you need to start. Not go to Gauteng, not go to Cape Town and go copy what they're doing there and come and bring it here. We are very powerful if you can know the potential behind Free State when it comes to fashion. Very powerful. So when we're talking about fashion, we need to remember here, we are talking about a community. It's called the fashion community. It's not people go. It's been put on the light base like here in our province when we're talking about fashion. So it's like we're talking about fashion designers. No, someone who's backstage there is part of the fashion. Because if that person was in backstage checking models, if they are right and all that, because the person, a fashion stylist, doesn't appear on the ramp, they don't know that the fashion stylist is there at the back there. Understand? So this thing, I'm sorry for not answering your
Yeah,
question
no,
the
I
way
now
you
I
wanted
understand.
it.
Like as a business person,
Yeah,
now I
Wawan,
understand what
yeah,
you mean.
Wawan. So-
And I'm glad you didn't answer it.
Yeah, because now they were gonna go and
Yeah,
you know how
yeah.
why
Copy and
I'm
paste.
saying that? Why I'm saying that? You just mentioned it. Why don't we just go to Gauteng and copy what they're doing in Gauteng and bringing it here? No, Gauteng built their market.
Yeah.
Let's start building our market as well.
Yeah.
And so that our talent can stop going to Gauteng. Let Gauteng come here and compete with us. Let us go to Gauteng and compete there, not go steal. Because it won't happen because the errors are not the same. Is the errors funny, Machi?
Like with a lot of things, Bloom, and I want to ask you this question. But before that, you mentioned something about modelers being paid unfair amounts. I think you mentioned 300. didn't
Yeah.
you? If I, what's the deserving amount that they should be paid?
You know-
or maybe they are paid where you are.
You know what is the difficult part about that one? Eh? They will tell you that these are not professional models. Now, what does it take for one to be a professional model? Are we ever going to have professional models coming out of Bloemfontein in Free State as a whole if models are being treated like that? 2024, we participated at the Free State Fashion Week.
The limo one.
The limo,
Mhm.
even the same year.
Okay.
In
Those
October,
are two different events.
those are two
Two
different.
different
Yeah.
events,
In October,
okay.
we did the limo with House of Ole.
Mm.
Then in November, we did the Free State Fashion Week. I think Bloemfontein Fashion Council at that time was about 6 months old.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took about 11 models from the Free State Fashion Council and said, you know what, go audition there. They auditioned. Luckily, all of them were chosen. All of them were chosen. And now I had to, because mostly now I concentrate. It's not like I'm saying those who are above 25, I don't work with them and all that. But no, I do. Yeah? And I do have models that I have here on my phone that normally now and then I advise when they're in Joburg, when they're in Cape Town. Don't you have anyone who can help us with this? I do that.
Yes.
But you know what is the biggest mistake that they do now? Once they are there, they lose focus. That's why I don't want them to leave our province. I want us to do this thing here. So that when they, after doing trainings and all that, they go back home. Now a parent comes through to me. Oh, the Chelsea. For the whole week, my child missed school. Your child missed school. What do you mean your child missed school? So now the child is very passionate about modeling. Instead of the child going to school, he decided, you know what, for this week, I'm sacrificing for the trainees of doing the Free State Fashion Week. Understand? I think that year Limo paid 800. I rejected. I didn't get any payment from it.
800 per what? Per day, per hour?
Per
For-
round.
Not per round. The overall amount. After doing all those shows, the overall amount.
Sure.
Yo.
The overall amount. I was so angry about this one of 300.
And you're a
bucks.
professional.
Me, they wanted to pay me that amount.
800 rands. For the work that would
Come
take
on.
plus minus a minimum of 2 weeks actually.
You know how did this conversation
Preparation.
end? You know how did this conversation end? Charles, you didn't attend castings, you didn't come to audition, so I don't think you're gonna get paid. Then I said, sharp is okay, leave it. The very same person, November, was the one who was in charge of models. Again, I did the very same thing that I did there. But now, when it came to this one of Free State Fashion Week, I asked him, aren't you gonna pay me? She didn't even interview. I spoke to him a lot of now. The models from my side, from my agency, because I won't fight for people that I don't know. From the Bloemfontein Fashion Council, we are not getting our payments, Charles. What? Now that's when I engaged the owner straight now. Our models are not getting opportunities. They're not getting their payment after all the struggle that they've went through. So what would happen is Monday models would go there, train. They would be released around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., go back home. That whole week, parents had to take out transport monies and all that. After the fashion week, the fashion show, they got paid $300. I didn't believe it.
Yo, that doesn't even cover most one trip.
I didn't believe it till I was on a call with the owner. I'm not against how the way she's doing her shows and all that, né? But what she's doing is wrong. It's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Which means you are not making Free State Fashion Week grow. If this year the money will be 500, the following year it's decreasing now. I think last year it was 150, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you kidding me?
Correct me if I'm not mistaken. But it went down. It went down. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
And they our elders who are organizing this. This is the very mistake that the silo went through, and I'm seeing Makufe is taking the very same route, not involving youth in this organizing of these events. The Mabana Cultural Festival was a very, very good platform to showcase talent. Free State.
Is it the one in
Tabansu?
Yeah.
It no longer exists.
Really?
You know what killed that? The people that were organizing it never included youth with it. So, the brain gets old. When you are 50, you can never perform, your brain will never perform the work that it was performing when you were 20. Why don't you include the 20 so that they can? We are living in the fourth industrial revolution now. It's technology now. Fashion should be done digitally in Free State. As we're speaking, we are not yet getting right with marketing our models. We are not getting right with marketing our fashion designers, photographers, and all that. Why all the successful people within the fashion community and the fashion industry had to leave Bloemfontein before they became successful in the fashion? What is it that Bloemfontein is doing that's wrong?
Bro, but I ask you, how much, what was the deserving amount? If not 300, if not 800, at least how much?
For all those shows, at least not less than 3,000 rand. For all those shows, because they did about 10, 12 shows, different designers. Not less than 3,000. Minimum must be 3,000 rand at least. Payment to a model.
What was the return on investment to the founders or the organizers?
They will never publish it.
But did they make profit?
Obviously.
Okay.
It's even funded by the government.
Hey.
So we won't question to that extent because we are not within their financial boardroom when they do all these things. All I'm saying is, at least show them that you appreciate them with a payment. That's all I'm saying. Give them something that's worth it. Because when people who are, I'm so asking myself, owners of modeling agencies, how did they answer parents of these models when they say, mama checks, for this whole week I've spent 500 rand, but the payment of this person now, when they start treating it like that to the parent, it becomes entertainment. Now, Wangwana was just entertaining herself. It's no longer a career now. They are killing their career behind all this fashion work, fashion careers. You understand? So all I'm saying is, do the right thing.
Bro, you're so passionate. What does fashion mean to you? Like what?
Oh.
Because you're so passionate about this. Like, take us through that world of yours on
Okay.
lenses.
I'm gonna shock you, ne? In the past 15 years that I've done the South African Fashion Week, I've never even requested one payment from South African Fashion Week. I think that will answer you quite well. I got my money from fashion in other sources, TV magazine, TV commercials, and all that. Fashion is something that I love.
So you used Fashion Week as a vehicle for something else to generate your money.
Yes. I had to trick my way in. What I did is, please
But-
don't follow what I did.
But now
Because-
you're complaining about this student, the students or the young ones who are paid 300 rands.
Listen to what I did.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I guess that's a school
Listen to
day.
what I did.
Yes,
Yeah.
Listen to what I did. I never attended any casting. I never attended any audition. Now, that's where it comes in through the importance of a mentor. My mentor participated
Okay.
in those events.
Okay.
He's been carrying me all along. You can never break through and get a professional and working agency in Johannesburg Living Bloom without a professional background. You have to put something on the table. That's why you'll never hear Barry. There was a model that we've scouted from Bloemfontein from Free State. Hence, KZN Fashion Council. They built a fashion council. Then they created a communication line with the established community. Fashion in South Africa, it's more, when you want fashion in South Africa, you must go to Gauteng, Johannesburg. Make no mistake about it. Now, we must use Gauteng as a communication. We must create a communication line with them. You understand? When they have events that side, we must register. Our agencies, this from Bloom, must be part of the agencies that will be called and say, you know what, bring your models. We've got a show coming up. We'll bring them for auditions. And with me, I never wanted money. I sacrificed a job that I had potential of growing and becoming a big thing inside there.
Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier on.
Big
I
company.
sacrificed it. You know what brought me to that? After being trained under NYDA via youth development, there's a lot of things that opened for me. I was very difficult to report to someone. So, fashion talent, the upcoming fashion talent, mustn't just go and say, you know what, I'm going to do this all alone. I don't want an agency and all that, what. I've got my own reasons why I wasn't enrolled in agencies that side. And I had a backstorm person behind me actually who could penetrate ways for me. You understand? I did big shows, my brother. You understand? So to start with, the most important thing that they have to get mentor. Get a mentor. A mentor will open doors for you. It's like music.
Yeah.
You can produce good music for the rest of your life inside here.
Mm.
But if it doesn't get to the right ears, someone opening a door for them, it won't happen.
We wouldn't have known of Kabza the Small if it wasn't for DJ Maporis.
Exactly. Wabona?
Yeah.
There's this Zex Bantwini.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Opening doors for you must check it. He can open doors.
Yeah.
He still appreciate the people who open doors for him.
For him, yeah.
You understand?
Mm.
So in fashion, it works the same.
Mm.
That's why it's called the fashion and entertainment industry. You understand?
My brother, let's talk about these fashion industry structures. You talked of castings, auditions, agencies. Break it down for a layman there. Yeah, I believe I might be naming them wrong actually, but yeah. What's a healthy fashion industry structure look like, or variety of these structures within the fashion world?
Okay. To start with, for a model to get jobs, Okay, let me just exit Free State a little bit.
Yeah,
And just take it from Gauteng now. Ne? Why is it working for Gauteng? A lot of production happens in Gauteng. For an example, big companies. For an example, when it comes to commercial, most of production happens in Gauteng. They are close to them. But once Free State opens or creates a communication line with the established that side, it can come through this side. I don't know if you are aware that Coke has just closed their production sector here in Bloemfontein. Yeah, we only have distribution.
Yeah,
now.
it's only distribution
A
now.
lot of things are closing. Why? Look at the car garages around here.
The car dealerships.
Car dealerships.
If they are not moving,
BMW has
north,
moved downtown to where it was before, from Langehoven Park. Why am I seeing decreasing now? Why is this thing? Why is the business decreasing in Bloem? What are we doing about it? Are we just gonna say, hello, what? And just gonna say we're gonna go look for tenders at the government?
Downtown
No.
is full of student accommodation.
Downtown is full of
All those
taverns.
car dealerships, nightclubs and
Nightclubs.
student accommodation.
What does student accommodation bring? Nightclubs.
Yeah.
Look at Small Street. Just imagine doing a fashion week inside the Small Street now. On the road there.
And
Just imagine
churches
that.
and churches, there are a lot of
Just
churches.
imagine that.
Mm.
Just imagine that.
Closing the whole street, ne?
Closing the
Would
whole
be
street.
dope,
Yeah,
eh?
it would be dope.
Close the whole street. Do fashion week there.
Yeah.
That's youth there. Now, how many dreams will you be waking up of the fashion industry?
And the culture shifting to
Born,
productive, positive
our upcoming fashion community is demoralized. They are They would do anything to survive presently. They would do anything to survive as we speak. Even if you can have a proper agency. What will it do here? When we say proper agency, Elite must open in Bloemfontein here. ICE models must open here in Bloemfontein here because they're already connected that side. Now imagine a person who's starting a new modeling agencies and is in Bloem. He doesn't know anything that side. He doesn't have any communication like with the established that side. Did you know that there's in Kwatwa, Mr. Price has got a factory there?
Sure.
We've got Mr. Price producing that clothing from Kwatwa. I've been there. I can take you there anytime. If we have such a thing there, why isn't it growing? Why is Mr. Price focused on Mobloko Mbofel? I created me and Ole, we created a pop-up store in Kwatwa. It is closed now. You know why? We told them, the sponsor, it's the government. Ne? We are creating this. But for this pop-up store to survive, it has to be run like this. You know what they did? They came themselves and they wanted to run it. You know what? How did they run it? They ran it like a normal shop, clothing store, for e.g. the one that's in Bomimosa, Waterfront. They ran it like that, and it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The structure behind it when we gave it to them was we have to open at least twice or 3 times a week. And when we open, we don't open for the community. We'll have days when we will market for the community so that they can come and see all that. But the most important thing is to promote local talent. Now, I'm talking about a guy who comes from deep in the squatter camps, because we still do have squatter camps.
Yeah.
Comes deep in the squatter camps. But this guy can do bucket hats. For that guy to make money, how should we intervene? Now, we take different kinds of bucket hats, we display. That day, the pop-up store is going to open for that guy only. It's our duties to make sure that we bring fashion, it's our duties to make sure that we bring factory owners all over SA, even abroad. Come, we've got a boy who's good in buckets. Come here, come see his bucket. We've got a boy who's good in suits, who's making suits, tailoring baseball suits. Come. At least when a factory source out, it will, when they buy, they won't buy 1 or 2. They will say, my guy, come through, come create 1,000 of this. How much profit that young tailor from Squatter can make? Unlike him showcasing it, after showcasing it, takes it home, 6, 7 people orders it, done. But now, when we start involving factories, manufacturers, and all that, they scout them, they take them. Come with your brand. Do this for us. We've got shops. Like for an example, when you see shops like Bogart Man, how many shops of Bogart Man do you see? How many shops of Foschini do you know? How many shops of Markhams do you see around here? Who's designing all those things? Why Markhams in Bloemfontein must be all the shoes, all the shoes there, all the jeans, or everything there? Why must they come all the way from Johannesburg to come and land here? If we have a factory here, why can't the factory, main base of the factory, or the designer, head designer, why can't they open something here in Bloem and let and after opening it here in Bloem, employ 3, 4 tailors, 5 tailors in Bloem. Let it be produced here, go straight to Markhams. It's here, Mus. We know Markhams, it's a national store and all that. We know that. But why don't we have those depots around here? Why are they at selected provinces? You understand? So what is it that those designers in Joburg are doing that's right, that the ones here in Bloemfontein are doing that is not right?
Speaking of that, bro, how did you guys come up with the House of Ole?
Oh, okay.
And what do you guys do for people who don't know?
Okay. House of Ole was founded by the guy named Ole Dimu, who's been mentoring me for many years.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah. Hey, that's one guy. Hey, that's one guy when it comes to fashion. Very free spirited. Doesn't care. He doesn't choose who you are to help and all that. But by me, ever since I've entered House of Ole, he has taught me a lot in the business of fashion, in skills, capacity buildings and all that. When it comes to clothes production, he has got his own trench mark. He doesn't have any competition when it comes to that, because the South African fashion, he's got his own thing. Please follow him. Yeah? I will try and make it happen one day for him to come and talk to you about, because he's the founder of it. And the story that made him leave Bloemfontein, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. And I'm not, it's not something that I can put there. Ne? You'll be shocked, but like I'm saying, you guys were saying, you'll be going that side, right?
Yeah, in August we are in Sentin, so if you can organize that,
yeah,
be
I will do that. I will do that so that you can come to the studio. Then we can open a lot of things. With him being there, saying a lot about, because he's the founder of House of Ole. He's the owner and founder basically of House of Ole. So, but to be honest with you, just in this one, I've learned a lot, and he has from House of Ole, and he has produced a lot of people that are now big there. Like I was telling you, like Tsepo, African Swiss, Tato, those are big brands, and Vintage.
So is it a fashion community that you guys cultivate there, or you sell clothes? Or just give me a picture.
It's a brand. House of Ole is a brand. It's clothing. Baseball clothing. Yeah. We sell clothing. We dress celebrities.
Same like Libo David.
Same like Libo David. Yeah. So, like I'm saying to you, my brother, there's still a lot. There's still a lot that has to be done in Free State. But for it to happen, we need to combine and work together. If people are not willing to work together, it won't change. And it's sad, Tabayamu.
Yeah.
Blind.
But it is up to us to change it, my brother.
Yeah.
The ones who have seen the light at the end of the tunnel.
Hence your question, anyway, then I said to you, I'm afraid to answer it the way you want me to answer it. All I will say is, there's this thing called the Bloemfontein Fashion Council. You don't need money to come and register. You don't pay anything monthly. Anytime, let's come, let's sit down, let's talk.
Sounds amazing to me.
Let's talk.
What are we on time? I want to have a pep chat with this gentleman. What's the time there?
1 hour 18 minutes.
1 hour 18 minutes.
Yeah,
Can you wrap up the 12 minutes? You have
no problem.
questions?
I have questions, but
Yeah,
he
before
will
I
sum
get-
it up. He will sum it up. You're so passionate. You ask one question and then
Yeah.
it goes all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way. As for your podcast subscribers and followers, I hope you are gaining a lot out of this conversation because, we have over 15 years of experience here. So, guys, he is living fashion. He has made sacrifices for this industry. And now he's taking that wealth of knowledge and bringing it back home and want to grow with everyone here and impart his knowledge and experience, and then so that everyone could eat, everyone could grow, because this pie is big enough for everyone. My brother, we live in a country whereby the titles and whose son are you or which family you come from, it looks like it matters more than what you are saying. People love titles. We have this culture which kills a lot of ambitious people's dreams and dims down their lights because re mo itse, ke mang Kamohelo, ke mang Charles, wa bona ntho tse jwalo. So what are your titles? Because I've looked at your bio, ke a bona hore hey, Grootman has made name for himself and you have studied this thing. Can you just differentiate and tell us, because you are a fashion designer, you're a fashion stylist, you're an international model. Just break them down.
Okay, my brother.
Uspanne, Grootman.
So it all boiled down to love. Because I never knew this one gave birth to this one gave birth to me. When it started, I was just a model, simple model.
Okay.
And if I can tell you the story behind my scouting, you will laugh at me. You know, Musrona Machita, when we grew up on the streets here, né?
For part 2, maybe we'd go there.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
make it 1 hour 30 minutes at
Yeah,
least to have.
yeah,
But
yeah.
just those fashion design. What's the difference actually? Because someone can be saying, hey, I want to be a fashion designer. But
Okay.
by then, I had to say the roles the fashion designer
Designer
gave. You
gave.
can be a fashion stylist without being a fashion designer. But the common one is fashion design. Well,
Yeah, okay, let's start with fashion designing. A fashion designer né, doesn't sit on the machine and sew. A fashion designer structures a collection. Then he hands over to the fashion artisan. Maybe if there's biddings, maybe the structure, sketch, maybe a suit there, then with the fashion artisan, they'll sit there, maybe the fashion artisan will say, we need beads here, we need one. Fashion artisan will come in there. So basically a work of fashion designer is to structure a collection, then choose fabric, the quality of the fabrics and everything, colors and everything. Then he hands over to the tailor. The tailor is the one who will start sewing the collection and all that. So after that, after the tailor is done with the collection, obviously when the tailor is still busy, fashion designer will come in now and then and just check the quality of the work. If it's the quality that he planned on the collection and everything. Then that's where after the collection has been produced and everything, that's when now a model comes through. Model comes through, there's the fabric there. Obviously sizes, the model will come through for sizing and everything, measurements and all that. That's where now a model comes in now. A model will come in, get measured. Then after maybe in the middle of production, the model will be called. Let's say maybe we are producing for a fashion week. The model will be called. So what will happen is the model will come for first fittings to come and see with the designer there, to come and see if is the clothing sitting as the way the designer anticipated for them to become. The designer wanted it to be a slim fit, but now it's no longer a slim fit, it's a bit loose. Then they will talk again with the tailor, okay, I'm gonna do it, pin this, make it like this and everything. Each and every step of the clothing, of the garment, till it's a final product. The designer is part of it. But note, a designer can sew. It's not like a designer cannot sew. A designer can sew. But it's not a job of a designer to sit in on the machine and design. A stylist at the fashion, now after the garment is there now. It's the suit there. Then there's accessories there. That's when a stylist comes through now. Stylist will dress the model. The designer will just fix there. Then a stylist will come in modify the look. I mean, it's better when your sleeves are up like this. Yeah, it's styling. It's better when the ties this put in like
Yeah,
this,
loose, make it
make it
loose.
loose, make it
Yeah.
wawan. That's where now the fashion stylist comes in. Wawan. So yeah, I think the like you say, we can open another podcast if you have to. We can carry on if you have to. Wawan. But like I'm saying, yeah, that's the role in simplicity. Wawan. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if
all
I've,
right. Yeah, you answered me. You answered me. You remind me of that show, yeah, and David Klale on
Yeah.
SABC 3. I forgot the name of the show, but
We-
basically,
we also had
Yeah.
one on SABC One, Raw Silk. Do you guys know Raw Silk? You must Google. Yeah,
Silk, I can't
Raw Silk.
the recent one, but yeah, David.
Yeah, David Dale, okay.
On SABC 3. or
Yeah, on
something
SABC.
like
Yeah,
that,
you must check Raw Silk. We did two seasons.
On
of
SABC
Raw
what?
Silk- SABC One. Yeah, check.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you must just check it on the
archives,
net, archives and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, you see it,
Yeah, again, it goes back to this industry is also huge, and
Mm.
one can find
Mm.
a spot
Mm.
there and make a living out of it. So it's not limited, but the main
Limited,
thing,
yeah.
key information.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on.
Yeah.
I can go, right?
And now, is it, you know, another thing, Manish. Local musicians, local DJs. I so pray and wish on daily basis that can they start using our tailors and models and stop buying expensive clothing? Leave these overseas brands.
There was an era, yeah. Ahupula Dickies, Lil Auction Culture.
Yeah,
Bo Pro,
yeah,
may his soul rest in peace.
yeah.
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
Spanzola
Mm.
was a fashionable thing and whatnot.
Mm.
I wonder that fabric in a Fumane guy because we remember Spanzo.
Spanzo
Bo
was the-
Alaska,
well,
Trumpy.
and if you can check.
But now there's another wave.
Mm. And if you can check,
So-
back then, those brands were worn by locals. So, Loction Culture is from Soweto.
Exactly.
Waban?
Yeah.
It used to dress Bopro Kid is
Bo
from
Pro Kid,
Soweto.
Bo
You understand?
Zola, yeah.
Now, our designers here in Bloemfontein, who are they dressing?
Eish.
That's what I'm saying. It's a call out to musicians around here. Start
Yeah.
using them.
Please dress us wherever you are. in
Exactly.
Bloemfontein.
Exactly. You know,
Fashion house. Oh, shit,
Come and
what
dress
are we
me.
wearing?
What?
you understand? You were supposed to be wearing a local brand.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
advertising it here
You
on
know,
the podcast.
Yeah,
So-
bring your clothes, guys.
So it's clothing collections.
Mm.
Your collections that were you showcased 3 years back, 4 years back.
Mm.
Try and get people who can advertise them.
Even the ones that would be
Even the recent ones.
in the near future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on the pipeline for you, my brother? Before I end all my questions, because I sense an international event coming through
Yeah.
in a Betty told me in August, September somewhere there.
Yeah. Okay. You know, after doing this, the fashion week that we come to the past SA Fashion Week show. Basically, our show went international. Basically, the House of Order show went international. So it,
Rashotaka, poo, 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 poo.
Now, you know, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking we should put the laptop or we should put. Don't worry, we'll get that. We'll get
Oh,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, what we did there was insane. It was a show, ne? On the show, just tell her to touch about it. Ne?
Mm.
On the show, models were walking, other models were standing. We had a painter on the
SA Fashion Week.
SA Fashion Week. We had a
Yes.
painter in the middle of the ramp.
Hmm.
So when some models were passing, other models stopped and the painter would just paint garments, go through. We had a makeup artist on stage. This never happened. We had on the ramp.
On the ramp.
On the ramp.
Live.
Fixing models. Everything was happening live. Everything that normally happens
Eh.
backstage,
Mm.
it happened on the ramp. So after that show, articles were coming out, my guy. Then there's this one that grabbed us from Global Times, New York. We posted. Actually, it was even my photo. It was a couple of us, but on my photo, I appeared alone there on the ramp. So there is a smell of New York Fashion Week this coming October. So we are thriving for it. Now it will be the first we'll be doing this again from Free State. Now the question again comes, what is it that I'm doing that's right, that's making me achieve all this that other models are not doing? That's what I'm saying. I don't want to choose. I'm opening this mic and say, Bloemfontein Fashion Council is open for everyone. Come, let's sit down and talk. How did I make there? How did I make it there? I want to see when I go to the grave, there must be talent that came after me pushing this going forward. I don't know if you're okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. And I'm happy. I'm excited about this news.
Yeah, we can't wait for it.
We
And I want to give a shout out as you speaking about Abu Pro Bakoga location culture.
local
Shout out to
brands.
DJ Sboo as well.
Yeah.
DJ Sboo is making this
mm.
thing of wearing local
brands,
fashionable.
100%.
Because when I first saw the Tsepo jeans,
Chepo jeans,
yeah, I saw it on. There's a T-shirt that I love, Tina Bantu.
Tina Band, yeah.
Yeah, hey, it's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's dope. So shout out to people like DJ Sboo, one of the guys that I know that wear local.
and he's determined, like he's adamant about
Bro,
it, and he's
yeah.
making it a statement everywhere he goes. Yeah,
He's born. You need to understand something about DJ's book.
yeah.
DJ's book in Fanakas. This thing that we're talking about, why eat pain yati? Why
Mm.
eat? And this thing we started ile from Kasi. If ntwana ya Kasi a kgonne ho fihla da, why ba bang ba sa kgonne go latela mo di footsteps in sa? It goes back to what? Mentorship. Mentorship. Get yourself a mentor. A mentor will show you the right way. Make no mistake. And a mentor is not like it's someone that's supposed to be next to you. It's not like supposed to be next to you all the time. Just get yourself a mentor online. Go check. With mentorship, it's very important. In the near future, Vele, we must have mentorship programs actually that we need to host.
Yeah.
And just to open up a little bit more behind the secret behind mentorship.
Yeah.
Where do people find you? Banaba Kukas.
Your
Socials and things like that.
TikTok, Amalomo, so up, and for meetups and all that, they can use the 076-981-9076. And please note the number is only for WhatsApp. No, it doesn't take calls.
Yeah,
It's
I
only
think
for
it's good
WhatsApp.
like that.
Yeah.
I want to jump into a short pep chat with you, right? Bro, moving, one of the things that I like that you mentioned, let's talk about the positive side that came with you moving from Free State to Gauteng. As actually something that I heard that for you to increase the chances of you being successful on something, you gotta move out of your comfort zone. And it seems like that's what you have done, you know? What are the positive things that you have benefited from moving as an individual, not really outside in your space of work? Yeah.
First of all, when you come in fashion, in modeling, confidence.
Can you have our guest some water too? Yeah.
Confidence, my brother. When I started Living Bloom, I never had that much confidence and I never believed in myself when it came to modeling. I was still young, confused, not knowing that I will get it when I get that side. And look, I never broke. I never pitched out things. My name never broke out there from modeling, if you may know. TV commercials are the ones that put me in the limelight in Gauteng. That's when I started getting scouting, working for Edgar's, doing shoots for Edgar's and all that. It has built and showed me that no matter where you
your
are.
pictures are somewhere on Edgar's stores or something, isn't it?
I
Bro,
grew up in this
because
thing.
I'm like, this face is
Commercials,
familiar, but
I grew up in this thing.
yeah.
But now, if we tell people this is supposed to happen, they don't believe us.
Yeah.
We lived this. We grew up in this. We know what's needed. So all I'm saying, I would just advise, you know what, wherever you are, get tools whatsoever, believe in yourself. Once you can believe in yourself, and don't think that when I say believe in yourself, don't believe in someone to build you while you don't believe in yourself. If you go for something, go for it. If you have to die for it, die for it. Like me in fashion. I'm coming back like this. I'm willing to die for this. No one can stop me in this thing. I'm willing to die for it. To see Free State somewhere in fashion. It must be on the mark. There must be something that's said about Free State. There must be. So,
Yeah.
all I can say is they should go for it. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. If and next door was someone. If I can do it, you can do it.
I love it.
Don't be cornered and say, I don't know, there's no opportunities in Bloemfontein.
Mm.
No.
Mm.
That's why, hence, Bloemfontein Fashion Council. Let's talk. We can open doors that we know. I'm willing to open any door. Any door where I can help, I'm willing to help anytime. You know, I'm willing. I don't, where you are, you don't know me, I will tell you, and you know what is the sad part about this industry? Models that I've seen go to shows, at shows, 50% of them are not models. I'm sorry to say it, but 50% of them are not models. They belong to catalogs, they belong to TV commercials, they're actors, not models. It's a few models that you can find out of Bloemfontein.
Mm.
But because of the people who are casting them, the casters, they just take. It's not easy to tell talent who's auditioning for
Yeah,
this is not it's not
especially
easy.
in this social media era, it's all about numbers, the followers. And
Exactly.
we see
But-
that in films and sitcoms, our local sitcoms. Talent is very few, even on radio shows.
But you know, with being true to them,
Mm-hmm.
you are creating a concrete thing because they'll know where to be. Not let them waste 10 years of their time doing a wrong thing. That's why it's important to get a mentor.
What's your biggest lesson in life throughout all the ups and downs? What's that one fundamental thing you learned?
How to communicate with people in the fashion of industry, in this industry of fashion.
Inside or
Fashion.
through?
Inside, to get inside, you have to talk. This thing has got a language. Fashion, it has got a language. Let me tell you what happened. I'm sorry, my brother, I have to say it. There's this guy who approached me after this fashion show, SA Fashion Week. And he says, Mona, you know what? I want you to come and do our show. I was like, I don't know you. Who you are? Who are you? Only to find out this guy, he say, Gert Johan. What? Oh, okay. But then he said to me, I'll call you for castings. Why?
So you don't do auditions, you don't do castings.
No.
Legends.
It came in like that. Why? I'm just showing you a simple thing. It was for the first time that guy sees me. Because he's new in
Johan, what's a...
Johan, he works for Johan Khatuse.
Oh,
Told me
Gert
straight.
Yeah.
Tell you when the castings are coming. On our next show, I want you to be part of our next show. Outside the House of Ole, after the House of Ole fashion show at the SA Fashion Week.
SA Fashion
Yeah.
Week, yeah.
Took my numbers. So now, that's people who know what they want. They know, okay, our collection that's coming, it's like this. It needs models who are like this. It's not like all shows I'll win off. It depends on the collection when you choose models. So now, if you are a caster and you can come and cast 100 models, then you call 5 designers. 5 designers, each is showcasing 20 garments, 10 ladies, 10 guys. 40 kids are not gonna, 40 models are not gonna get a space. Why did you cast a lot of models like that? But if you're experienced, you'll know what to do again. You'll know how to cast. You'll know how to cast because you just cast. You don't even know the collection of designers. You just cast. So that's why I'm saying, not in a bad way. Even organizers of fashion still need to be schooled. They still need to be schooled because there's a lot that they're missing. A lot.
Bro, who are you looking up to in this space? I mean, one of the guys that may his soul rest in peace, Ricky Rick. Oh yeah, Ntwana Naleja Lesel. And who do you look up to?
Okay. There's this guy called Paul Morkenvans. He was an actor. He used to act Momo Generation. Way back then.
That's Sid Jonas.
No, he was white. No. Sid Jonas.
Come on.
I developed my interest from that guy.
Paul
Of-
who?
Paul Morkenvans. Paul
Kilego.
Morkenvans, Kelogoa, I used to
Yeah.
way back then.
Mm.
My generation, he was popular on the TV more. I think
Yeah.
passed away. I used to look up, he's the one actually who brought me inside this thing. When I met Oleli Dewey, that's the person that I started looking up to. the things, the way he does. And you know what, ne? I looked up to him because he opened the book for me. He opened the book for me. This is how it works in fashion. Waban. A lot of people tried to work with him. A lot of people came, left, and all that. Waban. And I was asking myself, why did he? But now I got to answer, get the answer through me, because I knew what I wanted inside this thing. I didn't just want to get into modeling and just showcase. I wanted to create a legacy. I'm leaving a family there, Musula family. I'm the first from the Musula family to do this. It's a legacy. One of theirs, they will go in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years to come. They will say, oh, there was this one child of ours within the Musula family who once opened up this. Because Night Home, when I started this, they took it as a beauty contest, They never knew advertising and all that. So today, they understand the meaning of modeling, of fashion. They understand what's happening there.
Bro, thank you so much. In closing, one last question. For people that are doing well, that maybe you would love to say shout out to them in Bloemfontein. You can drop names. People that you see that they are trying, they are doing well. Yeah. What's your message to them? And you can mention them if you want to say shout out to them.
Yeah, I'll mention I truly thank Candy Smith for not giving up on the Free State Fashion Week. The biggest, most important challenge that he must open up, must start working with other people, so that people who know must start collaborating. I would love to thank Ntate Freddy for bringing the Lemo Festival, Lemo Fest. Kua Fashion Show is part of it. And I would also love to advise our government on Makufe. Please bring back Makufe Fashion Week. We are begging you. That is the biggest tool that we can use to penetrate South Africa and Africa as a whole in fashion. That is our tool, actually. We used to have it, but it was never done correctly. But it belongs to the government. Once we can bring it back, I'm telling you,